Namaskar and welcome to Express News, your daily window to quick and crisp 100 news and updates from the country and the world with me, Deepika. Let's begin. Addressing the Summit for Democracy via video conferencing, Prime Minister Modi said the Indian story has one clear message to the world that democracy can deliver, has delivered and will continue to deliver. Prime Minister said democracy is just not about of, by or for the people, but also with the people and within the people. CDS General Bipin Rawat laid to final rest with full military honours and 17 gun salutes. His last riots were performed along with his wife Madhulika Rawat. The daughters of General Rawat and Madhulika Rawat, Kritika and Tarini, performed the last riots of their parents. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has asserted that US sanctions on Iran are not relevant to the Chabahar project. A special flight arrived at Delhi airport from Kabul this afternoon carrying 110 stranded persons. 3 Holy Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji from historical Gurudwaras in Afghanistan and ancient Hindu religious scriptures including Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita were also brought to India by flight. Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri and BJP Chief JP Nadda carried Guru Granth Sahib. Today on Human Rights Day, President Ramnath Kovind addressed an event organized by National Human Rights Commission at Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi today. President Ramnath Kovind said that India has saved many lives by providing COVID vaccines to the people of the country. Highlighting the importance of National Human Rights Day, President Kovind said, "Equality is soul of human rights." Stressing on climate justice, President said saving Mother Nature is important as time is running out. He said India has taken several initiatives for the protection of nature, which will go a long way. Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw said railways have transported around 43,422 tons of liquid medical oxygen during COVID-19 pandemic by utilizing 945 number of trains loaded with 4,294 number of tankers. 2 policemen succumbed to their injuries after terrorists attacked them in Gulshan Chowk area of North Kashmir's Bandipora district. Mumbai Mayor Kishori Pednekar received death threat in a letter from an anonymous source yesterday evening at her residence. Mayor office said that the letter was written in Marathi and death threat has been given to all her family as well. Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul said that mask usage is declining in India. We have to remember that both the vaccines and masks are important. Dr. V.K. Paul said we should learn from the global situation. Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul said WHO is warning against the decline in mask usage. Global scene of Omicron is disturbing. DG ICMR Balram Bhargav said regular meetings are being organized to keep a watch on global scenario and COVID scene in India with a focus on Omicron. DG ICMR Balram Bhargav said that district level restrictions to be implemented where positivity is over 5%. Cabinet Secretary will hold review meeting on COVID tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Secretary, TBT member Health Niti Aayog, Secretary Pharma will also participate in the meeting. On to business news now. The SENSEX at the BSE slipped by 20.46 points to end at 58,786.67 on Friday. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange inched 5.55 points lower to close at 17,511.30. Meanwhile, other key Asian stock markets also slipped on Friday as traders edged away from riskier assets amid renewed concerns about COVID-19 and caution ahead of key US inflation data. MSCI's broadest index of Asia Pacific shares outside Japan lost 0.6%, snapping 3 days of gains. Japan's Nikkei 225 index had dropped 1%, South Korea's Kospi had declined 0.6%, and Hong Kong Hang Seng index had shed 0.8%. The rupee declined 25 paise to close at 75 rupees 76 paise against the US dollar. Gold prices down by 14 rupees to close at 47,925 rupees per 10 grams. Silver prices dropped 213 rupees to 60,585 rupees per kilogram. Crude oil prices rise by 0.41% to reach 5,482 rupees per barrel. US President Joe Biden, bracing for another jump in inflation, sought to reassure Americans that rises in energy costs and other key goods were starting to ease, but said the change might not be reflected in November data due on Friday. US President Joe Biden, in a statement issued ahead of Friday's data, said the information being released on energy in November does not reflect today's reality, and it does not reflect the expected price decreases in the weeks and months ahead, such as in the auto market. Update now on COVID-19 situation across the country. India registers the recovery of 7,678 patients from COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. India's cumulative tally of recoveries from COVID-19 has increased to 3,41,05,066. India's recovery rate stands at 98.36%. India recorded 8,503 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Country's active caseload presently stands at 94,943. Active cases account for less than 1% of total cases and currently stands at 0.27%. India's daily positivity rate remains less than 2% for the last 67 days, presently registered at 0.66%. Weekly positivity rate of India stands at 0.72%, that is less than 1% for last 26 days. The testing capacity across the country continues to be expanded. The last 24 hours saw a total of 10,79,384 tests being conducted. India has so far conducted over 65.32 crore cumulative COVID-19 tests so far. With the administration of 80,86,910 vaccine doses in the last 24 hours, India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 131.18 crore landmark milestone. India administered more than 80.94 crore vaccine doses as the first dose, while over 50.15 crore doses have been administered as second dose. And some updates from across the world on COVID. Global COVID-19 cases have crossed 26 crore 88 lakh, while the number of fatalities have also shot above 53 lakh. World registered more than 24 crore 19 lakh recoveries from COVID-19 so far. The United States continues to remain worst affected, with COVID-19 reporting over 5 crore 5 lakh cases and more than 8 lakh 15,000 fatalities due to the disease. World Health Organization Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus has warned that the highly mutated Omicron variant of COVID could have a major impact on the course of the pandemic, as more new cases are being reported across the world. The WHO has warned wealthy countries against hoarding COVID-19 vaccines for booster shots as they try to fight off the new Omicron variant, threatening supplies to poorer countries where inoculation rates are low. The European Union's drug regulator has said it could make sense to administer COVID-19 vaccine boosters as early as 3 months after the initial 2-shot regimen. US President Joe Biden has said the United States was making progress in the battle against COVID-19, and it was good news regulators had expanded eligibility for COVID-19 vaccine booster shots to 16 and 17 years old. WHO Africa officials here in Bold said that South Africa, where the Omicron coronavirus variant is driving a fourth wave of COVID infections, has seen 255% increase in infections in the past 7 days, but only 6% of intensive care beds are occupied by COVID-19 patients. South Africa's COVID-29 cases have reached above 30,93,000, while the death toll has hit 90,000. In Brazil, 5 days after cancelling Rio de Janeiro's famous New Year's Eve celebration, Mayor Eduardo Paes has announced that the event was back on. Spectators in Copacabana Beach will enjoy a 16-minute show consisting fireworks. At least 54 people were killed and more than 100 injured when a truck overturned in southern Mexico on Thursday, with most of the victims believed to be migrants from Central America, according to local authorities. The incident happened in Mexico's Chiapas state, which borders Guatemala, when the truck carrying dozens of migrants crashed. Photos from the scene show the truck on its side next to a footbridge and bodies laid out on the road wrapped in body bags. At least one person has died and 18 injured after a fire broke out at the headquarters of Tunisia's Ennahda party in the capital, Tunis. The place comes 3 days after Ennahda warned it was facing an orchestrated defamation campaign aimed at shutting it out of national politics. A humpback whale was found washed ashore along Cape Town's coastline with the cause of death unknown. Cape Town's environmental management representative said the cause of death could be linked to malnutrition. The 7.8-meter-long whale, relatively small by humpback standards, had most likely been part of a superpod of humpback whales sighted off the Atlantic seaboard in recent days. The United States won an appeal on Friday in London's High Court to have Julian Assange extradited to face criminal charges. The fiancée of Julian Assange, Stella Morris, said their legal team would appeal at the earliest possible moment a court ruling to allow the United States to extradite the WikiLeaks founder. Nicaragua has become the latest country to cut diplomatic ties with Taiwan in favor of China. Taiwan said it was deeply saddened, adding that Nicaragua had disregarded their many years of friendship. The decision was praised by China, which demands that any country that wants diplomatic relations with it must cut existing ties with Taipei. It comes as the U.S. State Department on Friday called for democracies to expand engagement with Taiwan. Russian President Vladimir Putin has been hardening his rhetoric over the situation in Ukraine, saying the war in the country's east looks like genocide. Russia-backed rebels have been fighting Ukrainian troops there since 2014, and tensions have been growing as Russia amasses troops on the border. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said in a statement the leaders of Ukraine and the United States discussed ways to provide security, financial and political support to Ukraine during a phone call on Thursday. Zelensky also told U.S. President Joe Biden that Ukraine had clear proposals of how to unblock the peace process in the eastern Donbas region, the statement said. Russia accused Ukraine on Thursday of moving heavy artillery towards the front line of fighting with pro-Russian separatists and failing to engage in a peace process in a new escalation of hostile rhetoric towards Kyiv. Kyiv has denied Russian accusations it plans to seize back territory by force, and President Volodymyr Zelensky that this week that he was hopeful of reaching a new ceasefire deal. U.S. President Joe Biden planned to convey support for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity during a call on Thursday with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. U.S. President Joe Biden on Thursday kicked off a virtual summit with leaders from democratic nations with a pledge to support journalists worldwide. U.S. President Joe Biden said a free press was critical to democracy at the event hosted by the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. Thousands of balloons landed in Rome this week at a museum made entirely of inflatable art, the first of its kind in Italy. The Balloon Museum Let's Fly exhibition features inflatable artwork by 14 different artists from all over Europe that were created using hundreds of thousands of biodegradable balloons in the former bus depots of the districts of Prague near the Vatican. The streets of New York are all decked up with lights as the city celebrates the Christmas holidays. The Fifth Avenue Association has sprinkled 9 blocks of holiday-inspired art installations. An elephant sanctuary in Chiang Mai in northern Thailand uses no hooks or chains to control the pachyderms. The workers at Elephant Nature Park Sanctuary take care of elephants without using chains and hooks. The Department of Cultural Diplomacy and UNESCO Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in coordination with the Vietnam Fine Arts Museum, has organized an online exhibition called Vietnamese LACQUER paintings. The exhibition aims to introduce the quintessence of Vietnamese art to the international public and the overseas Vietnamese community. Santa Claus flew in on a helicopter on Thursday to visit children with cancer in Guatemala's Ciudad de Mexico. This charity event was organized to provide accommodation for parents of children with cancer. New Zealand's Hobbiton, home of the Hobbits in the Lord of the Rings film trilogy, celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Fellowship of the Ring with a special outdoor screening on Friday. A first edition of Harry Potter has been sold for $471,000 in the United States on Thursday in what the auctioneer said was a world record price for a 20th century work of fiction. Sumatran tigers at London Zoo played with traditional candy cane decorations mounted on posts in their enclosure as the zoo started celebrating the Christmas period. Swedish company Jetson Aero has built what it says is the first commercially available personal electric aerial vehicle and hopes that in the future it will be able to replace traditional cars as a means of transport. In Somalia, 2 starving cheetah cubs were seen squeaking as the government vet tries to inject them with nutrients. These 5-month-old baby cheetahs are dehydrated and has deficiency of calcium. A Vietnamese hotel offers diners the chance to try gold leaf-coated tomahawk steaks, tapping a wave of publicity after a government minister was caught on camera being fed the dish at a London restaurant where steaks can cost over £1,000. The Vietnamese hotel has renamed one of its eating outlets and put the famed gold-encrusted tomahawk wagyu steak the minister ate in London on the menu, charging from around $45 a person. Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa on Thursday posted his first photo from space on social media a day after blasting off to travel to the International Space Station. The Wecock Waterfall Resort, located near Wecock village in Myanmar, has reopened for visitors. It has been upgraded to entertain visitors with cable-stayed bridges, log houses, coffee shops, jungle trails, recreation areas and children's playgrounds. Otters, which are designated as endangered wild species, have recently been spotted at Gongcheon Stream in South Korea, signaling that the stream's ecological environment has improved significantly. On to sports news now. Bindrayani Devi won a silver medal at the women's 55 kg category in the Commonwealth Weightlifting Championship. Bindrayani Devi lifted a total of 198 kg to finish second. The All India Junior Selection Committee has picked a 20-member India Under-19 squad for the upcoming ACC Under-19 Asia Cup to be played in the UAE from the 23rd of December. Delhi's Yash Thal to lead the Indian squad. The selectors have also announced a 25-member squad for a preparatory camp at the National Cricket Academy in Bangalore from 11th to 19th of December. The Indian women's hockey team's journey in the Asian Champions Trophy has come to an end despite a big win in the first match. The Indian women's hockey team had to be out of the competition after a member of the team was found to be COVID positive. Sports of skateboarding, sports climbing and surfing that first featured at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics have been included in the initial sports program for the 2028 Games in Los Angeles. Weightlifting, boxing and modern pentathlon did not make the cut of the initial 28 sports and must meet certain criteria in 2023 to be included. In Ashes, England were 220 for 2 wickets down at the end of the third and final session on the third day of the first test against host Australia in the ongoing Ashes at the Gabba in Brisbane. Tottenham Hotspur have had a second match postponed this week after the Premier League agreed to call off Sunday's game at Brifton and Hove Albion due to number of COVID cases at the London club. Leicester are out of the Europa League after losing 3-2 at Napoli. An end-to-end encounter saw 4 goals shared in the first half in Naples, where the hosts led 2-0 courtesy of strikes from Adam Warnes and Elgia Filmes. Today marks the 20 years since the premiere of the first installment of the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, received its world premiere at London's Odeon Leicester Square on December 10, 2001. The Matrix Resurrections has dropped its new teaser clip featuring Lawrence Fishburne's Morpheus. Florence Pugh, Rami Malek and Benny Safdie have joined Christopher Nolan's biopic Oppenheimer. The film is about the father of the A-bomb. The anime adaptation of the Cowboy Bebop has been cancelled. The move comes less than 3 weeks after the show's 19th of November debut on the streaming service. Robbie Shakespeare, the Grammy-winning Jamaican bassist, has passed away. He was 68 and was recovering from kidney injury. Jordan has withdrawn the Oscar hopeful Amira from the 2022 Oscar International Feature Film race following a backlash over the subject depicted in the movie. A full trailer for the long-awaited series adaptation of Halo is out. The minute-long trailer showcases some sweeping visuals and offers a few glimpses of the conflict at the heart of the series. The first look from the upcoming action thriller Extraction 2 is out. The film is a sequel to 2020's Extraction. A new clip from Tom Holland's starrer Spider-Man No Way Home has released. Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx could be seen featuring their characters Green Goblin, Dr. Otto Octavius and Electro respectively. British actor Kenneth Branagh has turned 62 today. He's been nominated for 5 Academy Awards and 5 Golden Globe Awards. That's all for now, but news continues here on DD India, so keep watching and tracking. Namaskar.